Jay-Z just set the internet on fire. His Roots Picnic freestyle went completely viral after he aimed bars at Drake, Nicki Minaj, Kanye, Tory Lanez, and several others. While everyone is focused on decoding these bars, they are failing to realize what this freestyle just seemed to confirm. The pressure has officially gotten to Jay-Z. He can no longer pretend he doesn't hear what is being said about him. He is being forced to address it. Today, you will see how this freestyle and his recent GQ interview reveal just how desperate Jay-Z is to shift the current narrative. It is no surprise that Jay-Z's reputation has been in a shaky place as of late. For years, there was a lot of industry rumors floating around that made Jay look questionable. But things got to a whole different level when headlines started surfacing that seemed to give merit to the rumors. Things escalated even further when his name was being brought up alongside those documents at the beginning of the year. People started looking at those past relationships with figures who walked in those questionable circles and started thinking that Jay was just like them. His entire reputation had shifted, and people were looking at him completely different. That was the moment Jay knew things weren't looking good. His reputation was taking a serious hit, and he knew that if it wasn't repaired immediately, it would be forever tainted. This is when Jay-Z started his calculated PR campaign. First, it was the GQ interview where Jay-Z showed up and addressed the things being said about him. But this was a softball puff piece interview designed to make him look good. We will talk more about this later. Now his second attempt is this freestyle where he's going viral for aiming bars at several rappers. This was the exact moment it became clear everything is getting to Jay-Z. Let's break down these disses and what he said. The first bar Jay said was, "Hattie's turning 100. If she had transitioned before I cleared my name, I would have hunted them, every one of them, playing these silly games. That 1-800 ambulance chaser would have wished one came, but 911 is a joke. Public enemy #1, I've been ranked." This bar is obviously about the legal filings that Tony Buzbee put forward. He directly aimed this bar at Tony Buzbee by calling him an ambulance chaser. Now he implies that he cleared his name, which technically he did. The only thing he doesn't say is how he got his name cleared. While the individual involved did eventually clear Jay's name, she also came out shortly after and stated she allegedly felt pressure to do so after third parties repeatedly visited her home. She essentially claimed she was backed into a corner regarding her statements. But luckily for Jay-Z, the mainstream media only ran the story that the individual claimed he was innocent. This bar lets you know that these issues still affect Jay. He is still directing his energy to try to convince people he had nothing to do with it. He comes at Buzbee, who is just a lawyer who took on a claim, because he wants to create a villain to shift the blame to. He wants people to direct their anger at Buzbee, the ambulance chaser, to mask the fact that he is being inserted and things like that. The next bar Jay-Z rapped was, "The rock not crumbling. The leprechauns have magically run out of pranks. Your son is in a federal jail line mumbling something about having too much in his drink. You know how dumb that is?" This bar was clearly aimed at Tory Lanez. This all goes back to the situation between Tory and Meg. Many believe that Roc Nation backed Megan and helped prove her claims against Tory. He spoke directly to Tory's father with the line about your son being on a federal jail line mumbling. This was in response to Tory's father accusing Jay-Z and Roc Nation of having something to do with Tory being found guilty. Specifically, the interview he did outside the courthouse where he named them as the masterminds behind Tory's downfall. Tory himself has come out and made a whole album from prison where he calls out Jay-Z several times. He repeatedly implies that they allegedly are the reason that he is where he is today. It's interesting seeing Jay respond to this after ignoring it for so long. It shows that he knows people believe he might have had something to do with it. It's why he's saying Tory is in prison because he snitched on himself. Jay knows he can no longer ignore it and just keep it pushing. Now, this next bar was clearly a direct shot at Nicki. Jay rapped, "The lady back on the stuff. She sounds like she's in love with them. Her Ken can't even pick up their kids. Enough of them. A rapper can't be my op. I got MAGA Republicans." Those shots came from the very top of the government. Good luck with them. I'm governed by God. You try to break the covenant. Now this ties back to Nicki's recent comments on Roc Nation. For the last few years, Nicki has been very vocal about Roc Nation. She has made several allegations that paint Jay-Z as a powerful corporate bully who tries to control the industry. Nicki claims that because she refused to work with his company, they have been allegedly working against her. She believes they have been utilizing all types of shady methods to block her industry success. A few months back, she went on a Twitter rant where she unleashed on Jay-Z. She even pointed out his long history of dating girls who are a lot younger than him. Nicki has made it clear she believes Jay-Z is the boogeyman of the industry. But in this freestyle, Jay is telling you not to listen to her because she's on the stuff and is working for the red side. This line was obviously pointing to Nicki's recent conservative shift earlier this year. But again, this is just Jay-Z trying to shift the blame and paint himself as the victim. Earlier with the Tony Buzbee situation, he paints Buzbee as an ambulance chaser who came after him for no reason. Jay was the victim of a greedy money grab. Now Nicki is the loony woman who's working for the right to bring him down. Jay wants you to desperately see him as the victim who is being attacked by jealous people who want what he has. He wants you to think he did nothing wrong. It's why he strategically chose to respond now after months of these allegations being out there, because he knows people are starting to believe Nicki. This freestyle connects directly to his recent interview. The first thing Jay-Z addressed in his GQ sit-down was the claims against him. Now, while Jay-Z technically addressed it when it first broke, it was through a cold-calculated written statement, the kind penned by a high-priced legal team to minimize damage. This 2026 GQ feature was his first time speaking on it in person, and what he said tells you everything you need to know. When questioned about the nature of the situation, he claimed he was heartbroken and filled with uncontrollable anger. He argued that because of his street codes, he could never be capable of what he was accused of. Again, Jay-Z was just painting himself as the victim that people were coming after for no reason. He never once addressed the actual claims or why he believes he was thrown into this conversation to begin with. He also doesn't talk about how his name was actually cleared. And the worst part about it is that the interviewer did not push back at all. They just set up the questions so Jay-Z could paint himself however he wanted. This wasn't a standard interview, it was a masterclass in PR damage control. They wanted to ensure that every single person who clicked saw Jay-Z clear the air immediately so they can spend the rest of the time talking about whatever else he wanted. This shows how much the pressure is finally reaching the top. Think about how Jay-Z spent years not responding to anything said about him. Despite all the rumors, he remained unbothered. But clearly, that is all changing. Too many people are saying the same things about him. He is not able to escape the claims because they're so prominent. We have to remember Jay-Z isn't just a hip-hop mogul. He has entered the world of corporate America and is one of the faces of the biggest performances in America, the Super Bowl. That connects his brand directly to the NFL, which means he must keep his reputation positive. Everything is building up against Jay. The claims, the rumors, the legal issues, it's all piling up, and chances are those higher-ups are ordering him to fix it. They have likely told Jay he is no longer the positive cultural icon he once was. Now, people are starting to see him as a shady corporate sellout who uses everyone who comes in contact with him. This is why Jay-Z is so desperate to change the narrative, why he's doing these fake interviews where he's the only one talking, why he's jumping on stage, aiming bars at everyone who dares mention him after he quit rapping years ago. Now, this is what Jay-Z is doing in the public, but what he is doing behind the scenes should be examined too. Recently, those who have had negative things to say about Jay and Roc Nation have been getting the call. Some are even waking up to legal paperwork at their front door. We already saw what happened between the blogger Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion. Meg took her to court because she didn't like the way she covered the Tory situation. She spent hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be awarded a couple thousand. But she obviously didn't take legal action to win money. She did it to send out a message. If you speak on Roc Nation and its artists, you will pay the price. This tells us that Jay is trying to silence the critics. He wants people to know that he is too powerful for you to come at. While in public, he pretends to be a victim who doesn't know why these people are coming at him. Behind the scenes, he's doing exactly what Nicki Minaj accused him of, allegedly using his power to silence anyone who's not talking about him positively. When you put all these pieces together, the picture becomes very clear. The Roots Picnic freestyle, the GQ interview, are two sides of the exact same PR strategy. Jay-Z is feeling the pressure of his crumbling public image. He is using every tool at his disposal to rewrite the narrative and protect his corporate interests. On a public stage, he wants you to see a man governed by God who is just defending himself against ambulance chasers and jealous peers. But behind the scenes, the Roc Nation machine is allegedly using its massive influence and legal resources to crush anyone who questions that narrative. The untouchable reputation that Jay-Z spent decades building is officially gone. people are finally starting to look past the carefully created image and question the methods used to maintain his power at the top of the industry. This sudden media strategy is proof that the old tactics of staying quiet are no longer working for him. I want to know what you guys think about this below. I find it interesting that Jay-Z did this freestyle just days after this actor revealed something quite interesting about him. What he said adds on to the narrative Jay-Z is trying to silence. If you want to know what he revealed about Jay, watch this video right now. And if you want to further support the channel, join me on Patreon. The link would be in the description and in the comment section. I just released a Patreon exclusive about a rapper who reveals everything about the industry. You're not going to want to miss that one. When you join, you get this video and over 60 exclusive videos as well. Another way to show your support is by subscribing, so you don't miss any of these important videos. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.